Hi, this is Ramona Reich with West Sound Orthopedics. So today I want to go over some hand exercises, some specific hand exercises for your fingers. So a lot of times whenever you have stiffness, it's really difficult to get those fingers to start moving. So what I want to talk to you about today is how to get that going. So first I want you to think about that there's a lot of swelling in the fingers. There's a lot of restriction from not only the swelling but also just the skin, and so you might even start out with doing some massage to the area. I generally tell people to do that a lot, and so basically it's just a light massage. You don't have to be aggressive, just to kind of clear the area so that you can prepare it to be moved. It also helps to desensitize it because the hand's usually very sensitive. So I'm gonna have you come in pretty close, and then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working on this joint at the end here, and then so what I would do if I want to isolate that joint, I'm just trying to stabilize it with my thumb right here, and then I'm going to use the other fingers of my hand, other opposite hand, to move just that joint. Okay, and you can do it a combination of ways. You can go, kind of repeated this way, or you can go and hold it for a nice stretch for 10 to 15 seconds. And then, so the next thing you can do is, if this is the only joint that's stiff on you, I would say, well, then go ahead and maybe start moving it. But let's assume that you've got the next joint too that is also stiff. So you can do the same thing here, and you're wanting to isolate to this spot. Okay. And same thing, you're just trying to hold, stabilize with this thumb while you're moving the finger with the opposite hand. And notice I'm keeping this one straight as I'm moving this one. You don't have to, but it does help for you to isolate it here, and then also it can help it to be not as tender when you're doing that. So let's just assume that this whole finger is stiff, and then I'm going to go to the next joint down here. And you can't really get your thumb there, but that's okay because it's kind of stabilized with the rest of your hand. And you're just going to do this, and you're trying to hold your fingers just beyond. You don't want to hold them here because it's not as easy to move. So you're out here and you're moving this way. Okay, so once you've worked on all of the joints, now you might say, well, okay, if it's the entire finger that's stiff, then I'm going to say go ahead and bring this down, and then you're going to try to bring this part down, and then you're going to try to bring this part in. Okay, when you're trying to get the range of motion back in the finger, your desire is to get it to go all the way in here. Now, I don't have anything wrong with my finger, so that's pretty easy, but what I want you to do is, if you say I have stiffness here, then I'm going to push as far as I can tolerate, and then I'm just going to hold it there. And then you can kind of come out and you can go back in. So you're just trying to push as far as you can go, all three of these joints together. I call that composite flexion, because you're trying to do all of them at the same time. And your goal is, again, this crease right here in your hand. Okay? So now let's go to what I call a blocking exercise. So what I've done here is I've loosened everything up using the opposite hand. And now what I'm going to try to do is use the muscles of the hand itself to try to get it to move, because we need all of that to work. So I'm going to block right before that end joint right there. So I'm going to put my thumb just before it, and I'm going to breathe that tip down. Okay, and then you can also go to here. Okay, so You can also do this in the thumb. So if we were doing the passive motion in the thumb, it's more like about like this. You don't have anything to really stabilize it with, but you can stabilize with your opposite thumb right here underneath, and you're pulling that tip down. Thumbs are kind of unique. They're not all created the same. So I have a lot of flexibility in my thumb. Some people don't move as much in this joint as I do, so that's okay. Just if you don't, you know, if you want to see, you can always see your unaffected side, and then that'll let you know. So now I'm going to go to this joint here, and then same thing. You're going to try to stabilize and pull that down. Now again, I have a lot of flexibility, and so you won't move this much. Some people don't move that much through that joint. So I'm going to hold right here and then push down. Okay. And then you can hold here and do the blocking exercise. And then you can come here and do a blocking exercise. Okay. Thank you and good luck.